setting up goals or setting up systems. This has been the key thinking part I've been doing in the last couple of days, because I've always thought that when you want to achieve a goal, you think of smart goals and you set them up and you work towards achieving them. On the other hand, I was listening to the book, The 4 Hour Week. No, it was the I was listening to an audiobook called Atomic Habits, and he was saying how setting up systems would be better than goals. And that took me a day to wrap my mind about what's the best for me, or what I think would work best from this point on to achieve my vision. And I would say that the first, I think systems are more important than goals. The goals that you want to achieve, your vision, is keeping you the true north of where you want to go. But you need to set up systems and habits to make sure you achieve the goals. And that's what we're going to talk to you. What I'm going to talk to you today. When we set goals, we often think of SMART goals. In which case, and I'm going to talk about each of the steps later on. SMART goals allow you to set the steps, reflect on what goals you want to set up, but also systems are important. So I was trying to see if I could look at an acronym for you, and the acronym I came up with is SMARTER Systems. So if you want to achieve your vision, you need to have smarter systems. So here is how my thinking has been going for the last probably 24 hours. First of all, we all have goals. We know where we want to be. We know where we would like to go in the next few months, the next few years. So the idea is having goals and dreams are easy. But how do we achieve them? That is another ballgame. Because if you don't reflect on how to achieve your goals, it just remains a dream. You never achieve them. So you've all talked, or you all have heard about SMART goals. So as you will see how looking at goals will lead to creating systems to make sure that you actually reach your goals. So when you think of SMART goals, the S stands for specific. So when you have a goal, you need to have a specific idea of where you want to be. So for example, this summer, I would like to go camping. This is my goal. This is one aspect of my life. I would like to continue create one video a day on my YouTube channel. That is a goal. Now, they need to be specific. If they're not specific, what happens is it remains vague, and then you never know what are the first steps to get towards your goal. The next one, it needs to be measurable. It needs to be measurable because if you cannot measure either the steps you need to take, or you cannot measure the key performance indicator, the KPI that you are going through to achieve your goal, how can you make sure that you're getting closer to it? That's important. The next one is you need to make sure that the goal you have is attainable. Now, it's always important to say, okay, I have a long-term vision, something I'd like to achieve in 10 or 20 years. The ultimate goals, and if I achieve it, that would be amazing. But if I don't quite get there, at least I will have a fulfilling journey to get there. When I say they need to be attainable, is when you have a goal, you need to make sure that within 3 months or within 6 months, within a year, you know that that one goal you want to achieve can be done, either with the resources you have, resources you need, or training you need to get. If it's not a goal that you feel is attainable, how will you get the drive to get to that point? The next one, it needs to be realistic. For example, I would love to go into space on the International Space Station. I would love to do that as a scientist. I think it would be amazing. Well, there's a few things which I think is not realistic. The first one is I'm more than 50 years old. The chances are for me to be able to go up there is slim. Second, the International Space Station is going to be decommissioned by 2024. So the chances for me to get enough money to get there, to get a training to get there, to make sure that it's still functional, it's unlikely, if not impossible. So that goal is not realistic. So when you have a goal, it needs to be something that you know can happen. One of my goals is to set a video every day on my channel. That's something I think that is realistic. So I want to have 100 videos within the first 100 days of this year. I think that's realistic, and I've been working towards that goal. The next one is you need to put a time factor to your goal. So you need to say, okay, I want to achieve this within 3 months or within 6 months. If you don't put a time stamp on how long you are expecting to need to achieve a goal, what happens is it becomes an open-ended goal. For example, I would love to go to Hawaii. I've been saying that for the last 30 years and I haven't been there yet. So what I need to do in order to make sure I get there will be to put a time specific, an ultimate time when I will go. The thing is, I don't have the resources to go there yet, so it's not a realistic goal. But it is something that I can, once I get the resources, to put in place by when I want to get there. So SMART goals are important. Now, one thing that I love is also thinking beyond the SMART goal, and I call them smarter goals. And smarter goals are important for a few reasons. It adds two letters. One is E and the other one is R. And by the way, I have an old video about the smarter goals, and I'm going to put a card right here and a link in the description below. And the two other letters with an E and R for smarter goals, the E stands for engaging. When you have a goal, you need to find a goal that keeps you engaged in where you want to go. It needs to be engaging, because if it's not engaging, you won't be pulled towards that goal. You'll feel that you need to push yourself to get there, and at some point you won't have the energy, you won't put the resources in there, and the chances are you won't get to that goal. So whatever SMART goals you have, they need to be engaging. The other letter is R for smarter goals, and R stands for reflection. The idea that you need to reflect on each of the steps of your goals. That means that if you have the goal to achieve 100 videos on this channel, the goal needs to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and I have a time stamp to it. But I need to reflect every day or as often as I can, and you need to put into your agenda that you need to think about why you are doing what you're doing. If I do videos for the sake of doing videos, it's good, but if there's no vision of the purpose of those videos, then I might lose the energy, the drive, or the why I do those videos. So you need to keep reflecting, because sometimes we do change, sometimes we learn something new, sometimes we meet new people. Sometimes we have, for example, I want to go to Toronto, and that is a goal. But then why don't I go to Vancouver? Because I meet somebody else online and I want to go further. Maybe I never thought of going to Vancouver. On the other hand, learning something new, meeting something new expands my horizon. So when you have goals you want to achieve, you need to have this idea of they need to be smarter goals, something that are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic. You have a timestamp, you need to be engaging, and you need to keep on reflecting on why you're doing what you're doing. This is quite important. Now, we have set a goal. Wonderful. We've put a timestamp. We know when we want to achieve that goal. The idea, though, is it doesn't mean it's going to get done. It just means that you have a thought, that you have a goal, and you have put in place some ideas on when you want that goal done by, or some of the measurables for that goal. Now you need to go beyond that. And that's when, from the introduction of this video, you need to think of goals, but you need to set up systems for you to be able to achieve your goals. And that is the second part of this video. I was listening to a YouTuber earlier today, and he was talking about how we are, as creator, we want to create our own creator economy. That means that you want to be a creator, you want to be in a situation where those creation or what you create can help people, can bring value in people's lives, so that you can actually find a way to help more and more and more people. And then those people wanting you help more and more, then you can monetize, you can bring an income from your creativity. And it's quite amazing, because if you can do that, you can create your own creator economy. Then you have the chance to help even more people. And that is the key part, because if you have a bit of income, then you can build your team. And if you think of the team I'm looking for this time, I would love to have maybe a video editor. I would like maybe to have someone to take care of social media, possibly, in which case I cannot get them until I have some income to be able to build a team. So I have a goal, I know what it is, but how can you set them up? So the second part of this video is about systems. Earlier, we talked about smart goals, smarter goals. Now we're going to talk about smarter systems. Because if you have a goal, you won't achieve it until you put the systems in place to achieve it. When I talk of systems, I talk about the steps you need to be able to create the habits to make sure you achieve that. And it's quite important, because I was thinking of, I have students, and when I give projects, I give them 2 weeks to work on them. That allows them to have several evenings. If it happens that they have jobs, they can work around their jobs. It gives me class time for them to work in class if they don't have time at work or at home. And also it gives them a couple weekends to work on them. But I do know that many of my students will wait until the last minute or the day before to actually complete their project. And the reason why they do that is either they don't have the routines or the habits to work in their schedule what they need to do. They know what the goal is. The goal is specific. They have a project. It's going to be given marks. They can do it because they have the skills. There's a timestamp. The question is, they haven't put the systems in place to not wait until the last minute. So let's see how we can think of systems. So I was trying to look at an expression to help us with systems. And if you look at the words, the first letters is SYSTEMS. It goes like this. There are steps you structure to ensure transformative success. And let's see if I can look at why that acronym talks to me. When you have a goal, it's important for you to put the steps in place to know, okay, this is my main project. Let's see if I can divide it in 5 specific parts. 5 things I can do so that I know exactly what part A is, part B, part C, part D, and part E. Now, I'm putting 5 steps because it's easy. Some of you, if you have a larger project, could be 8 steps. If it is much a smaller project, it could be 3 steps. But still, putting together or structuring the steps that you need to take to achieve your goals, that is one important aspect of achieving where you want to go. And the reason is the following. You have a goal, you know where you want to go, but sometimes if you think of the whole activity, all the parts that need to be done, sometimes it gets overwhelming. You don't know where to start, and that's why sometimes people procrastinate. That's why my students wait till the night before, where they have the time against them and they have no choice but putting together. On the other hand, if you have a project and you divide in 5 steps, all you have to do at that point is, okay, I have one larger goal that I divided in 5. Let's see if I can do part A. Part A is the brainstorming. Okay, I can do this. So what happens is you focus on one aspect at a time. You work on one step at a time, which is much more manageable. Because keep in mind that if you have 5 steps and you work on the first one, then you know what the main goal is. You are one step closer step closer to achieve it. It's more engaging for you because you have started, you get momentum, and you start reflecting on the idea of success. Much more of you thinking that I haven't started yet. Now, steps you structure is very important, but why do you want to structure those steps? It's because you want to ensure transformative success. What do I mean by transformative success? When you have a goal, for example, my goal of creating 100 videos in 100 days, it is transformative for me because it's building consistency. When I have a chance to meet with Evan Carmichael, this is a goal. Meeting him was, or is still possible. Every time I meet him, it's always transformative. Every time I meet amazing people, amazing students, amazing colleagues, it is always transformative. So the idea here is we want to bring transformative successes in our lives. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, we need a smart goal where you want to go. You need a smarter goal because you need to be able to reflect on where you want to go. But you need to put systems in place. Systems being steps you structure to ensure transformative successes. So, in other words, they're habits. For me, to create a video every day, I set aside a time when I will record the video. I set a time aside to edit the video, set time aside to do a thumbnail, and then upload the video. There are 4 steps. So it's quite easy, and actually there's 5 because I need to think of the topic. So I think of the topic, record the video, I need to edit, do the thumbnail, and upload. If I think of the idea that, oh, I have a video to do, it's sometimes overwhelming. On the other hand, having steps, having the system in place, I know that, okay, these are the things I need to do. Sometimes I record the video, I record, edit, do the thumbnail, and upload within the same hour. Sometimes I record earlier in the day, edit middays, and upload at night. And the whole idea is there's a system in place for what I need to do. I know that Evan Carmichael's with his business, and he's got a team. He has a day dedicated to recording. Then he has team members to edit videos, uploads, and so on. I'm not quite there yet, but he has a system to make it work. If you think of the school system, you can think of the healthcare system. There are systems in place to maximize the steps, to maximize to maximize the structure, to maximize success. Because we want the healthcare system to be successful. We want an education system to be successful. We want to have our family system, family unit, to be also successful. So all of these are important. So here, building habits are important. So as we go along in the days to come, I'm going to focus on system more and more because I know what my goals are. On the other hand, my goals sometimes are too big and I don't know what are the small steps to get a few things done. And that is the story for another video. On this, you're going to see, I'm going to put here a link with my milestone journey. So my list of video, my daily video on growing as a person to make the world a better place. And here I'm going to put a video that is in line about actually, I'm going to put the video I did on smarter goals a few months back. On this side, the videos for you. I can't wait to see you in the next one.